I'm gonna explain to you my thought process, how I go about upcycling a men's shirt. If I was to do a blouse and just make this shirt fit me, because it fits me in terms of size, I would do the following. First of all, I don't particularly like men's colors myself. So I've already done in some of the videos and some of my upcycles, you could just remove this part of a neckline, the collar, and just leave it like a bit like Chinese Mandarin. I think it's called Mandarin neckline. I think it's called the Mandarin neckline. If not, I will put it in the title. So you could just remove the collar altogether and let it standing like that. But looking at the shirt, I can see that there is some kind of darker colors. I washed everything as it comes from the thrift store, so I know it's clean. So it's a mark that maybe I can't take out. So if I can't take out, what I might do is just convert it into a v-neck, because I really like v-necks myself. So I just folded the collar inside for you to see how it will look like. That looks like a nice v-neck you could have in there. Now, looking at the shirt a little bit more closer, I didn't realize that there's a patch here that looks very white, like either it's been bleached somehow, and therefore, and it's right in front of your blouse, so I wouldn't be using it like that. So more likely, I would use the shirt as fabric. So I will cut around the bit and pieces that are not that perfect and reuse it. And the sleeve seems fine, so I could reuse the sleeve as they are or add some more fabric to create a new sleeves. But let's say that we're gonna use this shirt. There's no errors, there's no mistakes on the fabric. You can see the different colors. Let's say there is no problems with the fabric, and we're gonna use it like that. So as you can see, men's shirts are fairly straight on the side. One way that you could feminize it very much is find the waist where the waist would be, which I think will be around here. And then you could put it inside out on yourself, and then you could pin it to fit to your body shape. Okay, so now it's a little bit fitter. So now we have the problem that this bit here is going to be really big. So you could, if you want, remove some of this fabric here by just simply take some fabric, make a little stitch around like that, and pronounce your waist. So measure where your waist is and then put the waist there, not where it says on the shirt, because it'll be longer on the man's shirt. So you could go from here, from stitching from very little here, and then go in and create a much pronounced curve, and then into your waist in here. So then you have a lot less fabric here, if that is the fit that you want to go for. Once you've done that, if the length of the shirt is too long, you can always simply cut it to size. So if you were to make a much more pronounced curve of the side and cut it a little bit, you make a much more feminine figure, which is what we want to go for. So I'm gonna pin it for you to see what I mean. I just pin it a little bit for you to see how it will just settle down just by putting some pleats on some darts and removing some of the length on the shirt. So one problem I tend to have is that the shoulder is way too long for me, and the sleeves, it starts really lower down on my arm, and it's kind of uncomfortable. So what I tend to do is to cut a wedge. I tend to just cut a wedge, fold this in half and cut the wedge on the shoulder itself, and then go from bigger to smaller into your new armhole. And then what it does is you can bring your sleeve up to where your shoulder is. Just gonna do that. and you can see that it already looks so much more feminine. The sleeve is a lot smaller in here because I've been pulling it like that. I'm just trying to quickly fit it to the bust so you can see how much more feminine the same blouse looks for a woman. Another thing you can do at the back is that they tend to be really quite a lot of fabric at the back. So one simple thing that you could do is to make a pleat, make a dart, like a very long dart from a few millimeters from the top, and then reduce more fabric as you go along. So you could do on the waist, it's the most fabric that you reduce, and then you go less and less and less so until you get maybe nothing, almost like the same way you do a dart on the bust. So you go from the side to nothing, but the same thing in here. You will go from the waist to the top, there is almost to 1 millimeter to nothing, and then you might do the same thing down if you want to have a little kick. If not, just carry on. It's just a way of carry on and pinning and trying and see what it looks best. So now we have a blouse. They have a much more feminine shoulder, a much more feminine line. It's quite tailored to you. Let's say that you want to do this, but you want to not pin so much, not take fabric so much. You can always just get an elastic and use the elastic on the waist at the back. So what you could do is just find the waist, your own natural waist, and sew an elastic to make it to get closer to your body. So when you're in the profile, it looks a little bit more feminine at the back instead of having to do these pleats. Similarly, at the front, you could do the same thing. You could just not take any of this fabric, any of this length, but just do like empire line and maybe do the same thing with elastic. What I like to do is convert them into dresses, and for that I simply choose, this is just a little piece of fabric, I simply choose a piece of fabric that I like and I create a skirt basically. That's what I've done with the white blouse and with the red and white. And you just create a skirt. You could do like a very, very voluminous skirt. You could do a pencil skirt. You could do almost anything you want to do. This is the thought process that I do when I want to upcycle a men's shirt. This one, because as I was preparing it for the video, I realized that the problems with the fabric. What I might do is simply just cut it out and use the pieces of fabric as normal pieces of fabric for. So I might do the front with the two fronts, or I might just mix and match with another fabric as I always do. Or but yeah, and I might use the sleeves, add some more sleeves and make it like a longer sleeves with like a bishop shape sleeve, or I don't know, there's a lot of things that you can do, but this particularly one, because of the problem with the fabric, I will be making it, I won't be upcycling it as it is, I will just reuse it for fabric. So I hope I have inspired you to get men's shirts from the thrift store, or maybe something from your partner, or something you have in your wardrobe, and instead of throwing it away, have a thought about what you could do with it. Try it on, put some pleats on it, put it inside out, and then just pin it and see what it will be better for you. I found that my wardrobe is getting fuller with really cool stuff that I really wear in a daily basis. As I said, this blouse I made with 3 pillowcases and a bit of fabric that I had left from another top that I made. So it is a question of seeing the potential on fabric and on garments instead of just throwing them away. I want to show you this top first because this is quite unique on its own. I made it with the idea of showing how you can use the collars as straps. So if you have like a men's shirt that has some interesting fabrics, you can always use them as straps for tops. This is happens to be a top, but if you put more layers on, you could obviously convert it into a long dress for the summer, and that will be an awesome top. So on this one, I have upcycled parts of the shirt, as you can see here, on this one, and two colors from another shirt that I'll show you in a minute. This is one of my very first men's shirts. In this one, I decided to use the shirt as it was and add some scrap of fabric I had and a little bit of lace. And I did the same thing on the peplum. This shirt is super comfortable. I've got it a little bit, but not as much because it's quite loose on me. So I've got to leave it in the studio to actually make it a little bit tighter, make it a little fitter. So maybe give it like a curve on the sides. But it's a lovely, super fresh and lovely shirt. I really, really like it. Sometimes when I get a shirt, I think, how can I pair it with something else? In this case, I paired this green minty fabric from the shirt. You can see more of the green mint shirt in here. I paired it with this beautiful bird fabric that I had in my stash, and it wasn't much. But this is a lovely shirt. Super nice and fresh, super crispy, and it has a cute little peplum. Somebody was saying to me, "Oh, you did a peplum," and they were laughing. It's like, well, yeah, I do like peplums. I wear them a lot because of my shape. I actually think it fits me nicely. I feel really comfortable and quite dress up with them. So yes, I will make them. Also, some other lady asked me, I'm pear shape and always been told not to wear peplums. And I thought about it, and I thought, you know, when I was in my sewing class, I was told over and over, oh no, you cannot wear that because of your bust, or your hips, of your size, or this, or that. I got a little bit fed up at the end of it, and I left the sewing club, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to make whatever I want to make. Whatever I want to wear, that's what I'm going to make. So for this lady that was saying that she's a pear shape, I've given this some thought. And I was thinking, okay, so if you really want a peplum and you really want to do it, you could do two things. You could have the peplum high up just underneath your bust and then make it longer so it passes by the widest part of your hips. So instead of cutting it before the widest point of your hip, just do it lower. So it actually might look like a peplum silk tunic, but I think it won't make you wider. So you will go, if the peplum goes right underneath your chest, like an empire kind of thing, goes in and then goes down just below your widest point. I think that might be a good way of doing it. Or you could bring the waist down and then do the same thing. Just get the widest part of the peplum passing the widest part of your hips. Try that, and if you like it, fine, get it done. And if you don't like it, don't do it. But at the end of the day, you do you. Wear whatever you want to wear. That's my motto. So this is a dress on my last video. This video hopefully comes out of the one that I just made this one of. And this dress is made with this beautiful Indonesian shirt that I thrifted at the same time that I thrifted this one. It looked to me like some gentleman had a few Indonesian shirts and throw them in the thrift store, and I picked three, so I was very lucky. This is quietly already one of my favorite dresses. I made a sash. It's over there. I made also a belt, so you can wear with a belt, or you could wear loose. And this is a beautiful cotton linen fabric. What I've done for this one was to choose the fabric of the shirt, and instead of using the shirt or parts of the shirt like I've done on this one, in here I use part of the plaque with the buttons, and I use part of the shirt themselves as part of the pattern. I actually use the shirt as a fabric. So I cut the shirt open, lay it flat, and put my pattern pieces into there and just use it as a fabric. So I think this is a very successful dress, and I'm very, very pleased with this one. Okay, this is until that one that I just made, this was my favorite. I actually have 3 dresses that I wear a lot in here and I absolutely love. This one was a Hawaiian shirt that I picked in the market, and I pair it with this absolutely stunning. I picked it with this beautiful fabric with peachy and gold leaves. This is an absolutely gorgeous dress. The way I used the shirt here was, again, I kind of used parts of it, like this is the original sleeves, and because it was a fairly big shirt, I was able to use some parts of it as I wear. This one actually looks quite nice and loose on me, and it's beautiful. I used part of the shirt to use some of pieces for the dress, and I patched some places where I cut this bit and from here. So I have to I have like a hole here, so I have to add it up in here. And basically I used the shirt kind of as it was, but at the same time I use it as fabric. So you can see most of the skirt is actually the shirt itself. At the back, I have to do quite a bit of patchworking to get enough fabric to make the back of the dress and the waistband. But it is an awesome piece that I absolutely love, and I'm sure I'm gonna have a lot of use this summer. Okay. I keep on saying this is my favorite, but actually this is one of my favorites too. This was my own shirt. I bought this blouse or shirt in Zara many years ago, and it was just a long white shapeless shirt, and I thought I'm never gonna get rid of it because it's such a lovely cotton and it feels so nice on. But what I did is I cut it right underneath the bust, and I made a skirt with a vintage sheets that I also thrifted. I love to work with secondhand and thrifted fabrics. So when I saw this one, I just jumped on the opportunity because it's absolutely gorgeous. It's in a very good quality and very good condition, and it makes a very comfortable and beautiful dress. I feel really dressed up when I wear this one. I really like it. Very nice. Now we're going back in time. So this is one of the very few makes that I made with a men's shirt. If you can recognize here the little red. So this is the color for this shirt. This is what gave me the idea to reuse the colors, because the colors were so beautiful that I wanted to do something with them. So this is a shirt that I mainly reuse as it was, and what I've done is I cut the collar off. I left the sleeves as they were, and I decorated it with a little bit of lace, and then I used some of the fabric to make my first tier of the skirt, mixing up some fabrics and making the tier. I did mention in the video if it would have been okay to put maybe some lace on the bottom layer. I haven't done it, but I think I might do because I think it will look better. So this is another sample that you could, in the shirt, I put the sleeves back on because the shoulders is like really low on me. And then once you do that, the shirt crown is a lot wider, a lot bigger. So I actually put like a plate in there. I have another one that I've made that is half blue, like a denim, and half like a dark black, like a dark brown, almost black background with the little flowers. And that, I really love that one. I wear that a lot. This is also a dress made out of, actually, if I remember well, this was a short dress. that I bought because I love the fabric. But it was a dress that was very tight on the hips for me. It was a very small, almost like a mini on me. It was very small and too tight on me. So what I did was cut it to around the waistband, and put some lovely fabric and put a tie at the front. So it makes it very interesting. This is it's super comfortable because the fabric has quite a lot of stretch, so it's very comfortable to wear, and it is a lovely dress. Unusual for me to buy red and blue, but I think it's because it had a lot of blue. These are some of the coats that I made. These are not for the video, but they were in the hanger, so I just left them there. Just to show you that I don't just make blouses and shirts, I also make jackets. I made this jacket when I have a lovely apprentice with me 1 week, and she was stunned on how much work goes to make a jacket. She was a lovely apprentice, and I'm hoping maybe one day have one. Anyway, the video is also in the channel for this one. This jacket also in the channel. This is a remade of a cropped jacket like this shirt. It was a cropped jacket from Pull & Bear for my daughter, and I just love the fabric. It was like a fake suede fabric, and I decided to pair it with this wool and make myself a 70s inspired kind of jacket, and it's a really lovely one. I really like it. And these ones, obviously these are no, I'm not going to talk too much about this because these are not part of the video, but I love this one, and I made this coat with €1 with a fabric that cost me €1. And it's a beautiful coat. I love it. If I don't remember to link all of the videos, please visit the channel. All of these videos for all of these makes are there. So I hope I have inspired you, and I wish there was a way that you could tag me with any creations that you might do. I would love to see them. So at the moment I'm working in a longer project, sewing project, and I hope to bring it soon to the channel. So if you like the run around of my items and how I go about making something, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!